In this project, we are going to use the Polymer Clay Classics, the hidden magic technique, but with metallic glaze, and we are going to pair this with the faux ceramic technique, and we are going to make a focal piece with a peony image. And I can't tell you how difficult it was to put these pieces into a beautiful neck piece that would in the same time honor each piece. And I'm going to show you at the end of the video what I've managed to do with these pieces, and I hope you liked it. Hi, I'm Mihaela from Learn Polymer Clay, and let's dive in. I'm working with scrap clay from a previous project. You'll find the link in the description. Today's project, I'm not going to do the Skinner blend technique. I'm just using the scrap clay, meaning I have magenta clay on one side and a mix of 1 unit magenta clay with 1 unit gold polymer clay on the other side. And then I put this through the pasta machine on the largest setting. And as you can see, it's not really a Skinner blend, but that's okay. And I'm going to put this through the pasta machine several times. And then I just rolled the clay into a lob and I pressed the clay down and I flattened the clay just enough to be able to put it again through the pasta machine on the largest setting. And I ended up with a piece of polymer clay which has the metallic blend in the center and the magenta all around. And I put this on the setting number 3 of my Atlas pasta machine, and then I put a thin sheet of polymer clay pressed on the setting number 6, and then I put them on top of a texture plate, and I put everything through the pasta machine again, but this time on top of a beautiful texture plate. And then you'll just have to use a sharp blade and gently remove the raised areas, and you will notice the metallic clays popping underneath. And I'm gently shaving the excess clay on top. And then I had a very beautiful surprise, and this is why I love polymer clay so much, because it never ceases to amaze you. You'll notice that I have like a flower, like a peony, like peony flowers with black and magenta and pinkish magenta. And then I just used a bone folder and some parchment paper, and I've made sure that I've flattened the piece. And of course you can use the roller, and you'll have to flatten the piece. And you'll notice that I did not scrape off the entire piece. I intentionally kept some textured black texture clay for making this piece even more interesting. And then I've passed another polymer clay sheet on the pasta machine through the same texture, and I put this and I flipped it, and I'm going to use this to make the texture back of the piece. And then I put this piece with the hidden technique. This is called the hidden technique on top. And of course you'll have to gently press the layers together. And then I've used the flexible blade to create the shape that I wanted for the pendant. And because I've put black polymer clay on top and black polymer clay underneath, when looking from the sides, you will notice you'll have a sandwiched margin with the black on top and underneath, and in the middle you will have a beautiful gradient from pinkish clay to magenta. And so this is the first component of the final neck piece that I intend to make. You'll have to take the time and smooth off the edges. And this is the texture back. For the faux ceramic element, I've used an interesting stamp like a Chinese umbrella. and I pressed it into the white polymer clay previously conditioned. So I'm working with white polymer clay passed through the setting number 2 of my Atlas pasta machine. And then I used a stamp with an interesting Chinese umbrella pattern to impress a beautiful pattern onto the clay. Then I used a round cutter to cut out the shape of the bead. And then I applied some rubbing alcohol, and this is the image that I intend to transfer, and I've printed this image on my laser printer. And then I gently put the image facing downwards on top of the clay, and I've burnished the image onto the clay. And then I added a little bit more rubbing alcohol, and I continued to burnish the image into the clay. And you will notice that the paper fibers are starting to come off. And then when I checked if the image transferred to the clay, I had a very nice surprise. It really transferred. And I really wanted like a vintage look, but I really wanted this a little bit faded away. If you want an image transfer a little bit more colorful, you can always use ink pens and add a little bit more color. Again, you'll have to take the time and smooth off the edges. If I take the time and do a good job at smoothing the edges, I won't have to sand or not much the pieces. I decided to make this piece a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how I'm going to put these pieces together. And then I've baked them on a domed metal piece that I wrapped in metal foil. And I've baked the round piece with the image transfer looking downwards on top of the domed piece, and the second piece made with the hidden magic technique, I put it on the side of the metal domed piece, and I've baked them for 45 minutes in the preheated oven. I tented the pieces with some metal foil to protect them from direct heat. I let the clay cool down, and then I've applied a coat of UV resin for the faux ceramic look, and I used the brush to spread out the resin, the UV resin. You will notice that this piece is slightly curved, and so I applied a generous amount of UV resin. And when working with resin, UV resin, you'll have to use gloves to protect your hands. You'll have to work in well-ventilated areas and use rubbing alcohol to clean your tools. So I'm doing my best to spread the resin all over the piece, and then I looked from the side to make sure I don't have gaps, meaning areas with no resin. And then I used a heat gun to remove any air bubbles. And I finished by curing the resin using a UV lamp for 2 consecutive minutes. Now it's the toughest part of the process. I have to decide how I'm going to put these pieces together and make an interesting looking neck piece. So I'll start by drilling holes on the larger piece, and I use the hand drilling tool, and I drill holes on the left and on the right. And then I've drilled a hole into the faux ceramic bead as well. Finally, I think I'm going to attach this on the right side of the larger bead, and I also decided to use a beautiful head pin with like a flower shape in the top, and I trimmed off the excess wire, and then I just used round nose pliers to make a multiple loop. And I decided to put the faux ceramic on the right because I didn't want to cover the beautiful colorful pattern on the left side of the larger component. And in the same time, I thought that the black in between would make both pieces pop up. And then I just used a silver color stainless steel chain and some triangle jump rings, and I attached a clasp, a simple clasp, a toggle clasp, and I really liked how this piece turned out. And I really think that these pieces complement each other very well. And if you like this idea, here's what to watch next.